All right, privates, we are so stoked about the masterclass that we are about to get from Samia Burton. She came to us highly recommended as a guest. So welcome to the show, Samia.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It is
So
such a pleasure. We have
yeah,
so much to learn.
yes. So you actually teach classes as a sex educator, and one of them is called Dick Riding 101, and one of them is called Master Mouth Class.
Mouth
And
Masterclass. Yep.
Mouth Masterclass, yes. Before we get into maybe some tips from those classes, let's just talk about your kind of journey as a sex educator and how you got started in the space and what kind of led to that.
Absolutely. So let's go back like 4 years, and I had a newborn. I was still breastfeeding. I still had a day job. I was doing property management at the time. And it was at that point, you kind of get obsessed with like all mom things. So you're just talking to other moms. And I've just always been a person that talks about everything, sex included.
Mm-hmm.
And I just came to find out that all these women were having babies, but they didn't have orgasms like when they got pregnant. And so I'm like, wait, you got fat like me, but didn't even like catch a nut? Like your boobs are hurting and sore and you have stretch marks and all these things that came from the exact same act, right? But you didn't even get so much as an orgasm. And I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. And so,
That's bad math right there.
The math was not mathing. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that kind of started off and I was like, you know what? I'm just breastfeeding, chilling. I need something for me. And so I was like, I'll just start a sex blog so I can talk about these things so someone will listen to me. But I'm just not a half-asser. And I was like, what the hell is another blog going to do? Like people need to learn. And I'm not talking about lectures, like they need tips and things they can try and do. And how do they know they're doing it right? And so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll save the world. And so, then I started, I just started Sexual Essentials as a whole, a person that could test out sex toys and then like actually give honest feedback or provide private hands-on classes and just provide a safe space that wasn't super expensive for people to learn and talk about sex, like really have a community of safe people outside of like, your friends where you may feel judged or your family where it's like, that's none of your business, but also like work through our traumas to get better sexually and work on ourselves. It's just like, we have an outlet for everything else. We have a group for everything else. You have your group of friends you go out with. These are your friends you talk sex with. These are my sex best friends. And, kind of like a person that just reminds you of your best sexual self. And we could talk about anything, So that's what I do. And that's how I got started. And we're 4 years in, viral posts later, 1,000 interviews later, and still the sex friend. Here we are.
The world definitely needs saving. And yeah, we all need a sex bestie. So love that. One thing I want to talk to you about before we wrap is squirting, because I heard you flex. I heard you flex on a podcast, and I think you said you made yourself squirt 4 times in one sesh. But anyway,
that's like a morning session. I thought you were going to say the one for my birthday when I turned 26. So every birthday, I give myself that number of orgasms. Last year, I didn't because I had just had surgery, so I wasn't allowed to have an orgasm without like hurting myself. But
you were like, year, I've got 28 plans for today, though. So
and it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take as long as you think. So like this year when I turn 30, I'm super excited. I'll be on the beach and I'm gonna, give myself 30 orgasms and then I'll probably sleep the rest of the day. But yeah, so squirting is one form of ejaculation.
So like tips, I have actually made myself squirt a few times.
Okay, girl.
It was amazing.
I've never been able to do it. Help.
But yeah, what are tell us how?
Well, I think like before you even get into that, we have to clear up some things. You can squirt without having an orgasm and you can have an orgasm without squirting. And squirting is not an orgasm.
Okay, well, I think I did both kind of together because it
And
felt.
you might have. And that's amazing. I love when it happens together because then you can be excited about something and it came with something versus sometimes women squirt and they're like, oh, I've been waiting to do this all my life. And they do it. And they're like, the fuck is this? Now I just got a mess. It's because you thought that squirting was an orgasm. So what you really have been after is an orgasm, but you thought because you could see it that, oh, if I see this, that means I had an orgasm for sure. You know,
But it was like another level of intensity.
yes,
Maybe
and that is
because it
true.
was happening at the same time. I don't know.
And that's great. That's what I tried to get. So basically, I feel like you're either a natural squirter or you're not. I am not a natural squirter. And when I say natural squirter, it means like when I just naturally have sex or naturally masturbate and I'm not doing anything special, does it just happen all the time? No. Do I know how to make it happen and what to do to push my body to do that? Yes. So I feel like the first part of that is letting everyone understand that, like, your experience, that's great because it sounds like you had an orgasm and you squirted at the same time.
Yes.
But
And I used a very hard, I don't think I am like a natural squirter because I've never done it during sex or other masturbation, but there was like a certain kind of hardness of this toy or whatever that I think made it possible.
and that may be a thing for you. You know what I mean? Like that texture, the feel. Like I know that there are some people that squirt every time they do latex play. So like there
Oh,
are so many things you have to understand, like our bodies are weird and they owe us no explanation. Okay. They just do whatever the fuck they want, right? Like I have a thing about nipples. Like I fast forward to the part on porn where they're sucking on titties. I don't know if it's because I got a lot of ass. Like the boobs are kind of like new. That came from like having my son, but they weren't always there. So I don't know what the fixation is, but everybody knows like Samia loves boobs, right? So I can fast forward to that part of the porn and it'll make me come quicker. Guys are like that. And I don't know if you guys have your favorite thing you like to see that does it for you. So maybe that toy made you, have a more aggressive orgasm. So if you're not sure if you're a natural, well, if you don't squirt, then you're probably not a natural squirter. So boom. But if you're trying to, then my number one suggestion is to have a more aggressive, more intense orgasm. That's the first thing. And
I can't have any more intense orgasms than I am having. They are so intense. What am I supposed to do to make them more
it depends.
intense?
I have a friend who like passes out from orgasms. And so I refuse to teach her anything because I'd be damned if I go to jail for making someone catch a minute.
I can't take the liability.
I can't. I'm not a doctor. Like I can't do that. So if you feel like your shit too strong, girl, don't be telling me to hurt you. But in this class, I give a whole bunch of demonstrations, and it's hard to do this because it's vocal. But I actually do video. I have video demonstrations. Like people have donated their pussy to me to science.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yes, and I've shown people how to do these techniques I'm talking about. So there's twofold. So like there's a master class that's called masturbation and squirting where I just teach. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. I show you like with props and all these things, specifically what to do. Then now some of the people, they just go do it and they're like, okay, great, this worked out great. But some people are like, no, I can't do that. I don't know what you mean. I'm like, okay, join the Patreon. You join the Patreon and you see the live demos and you're like, oh shit, you really did what you told us to do. Yes, go do it. A lot of times we talk about what may not work and we haven't even touched anything yet. We're just so discouraged. We don't think it's going to work. And then we don't try it often enough. We try something one time and then we're like, oh, well, that didn't work for me. So you've been fucking this whole way all your life. You come to me, you take one class, you did it one time, and that's all I get. That's the only shot I get. That's really what we're going to do. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like we got to be fair, and we have to be consistent. But the biggest thing that I tell people is, first of all, let's make sure we know what squirting is, because what if you're gushing or what if you're creaming? Like there are 4 different forms of ejaculation. Squirting is one of them. So sometimes you're pressuring your body saying, oh, you should squirt. And then your pussy is over there creaming like, damn, bitch, you don't see me. Like, and you over there talking about what you want your pussy to do, and your pussy is ejaculating in a different form. Like you do ejaculate, but do you even know what all of them are? How do you even notice? Are the lights on? Can you see what it's doing? Or are you squirting, but because it's only a few drops and it's going into the bed and it just shows a small wet puddle, you don't feel like, well, that's not what I saw in the porn and it didn't hit the ceiling and drip down on my head afterwards. And it's like, cut the shit, okay? Like, Do we all know what the hell we talking about here? Like the real stuff? Or are you telling me you want to do like the poem? Because I only did with facts, you know? So the first part of that class is making sure that we are all very clear about, are we gushing or are we creaming or are, you know, what are we doing? What does it mean? Let's make sure we're having orgasms first. And then we walk through fixing your orgasm. So a lot of people actually can squirt, but they're not having a full or correct orgasm. We're doing things to get in the way of our own orgasm. So if you can have even a free orgasm, sometimes that's the trick to just squirting, period. Having a free orgasm. Yes, her mind is like, bitch, what the hell is a free? Like, did I have to buy the other one?
Yeah.
Free as in like you're not holding on to anything. And so like I go through a process of helping you to like, okay, let's take this off. Like, just like how we talked about the senses, things that we forget about when we're in the act. And I remind you of those things and then help you test those things and then give you a whole bunch of new shit to do. So we fix stuff before we learn new stuff. But that's all in the same class. That's why I call it a master class, because I'm like really thorough. It doesn't matter what you learn new if you're still doing the old shit wrong, because that old stuff is the basis for what we're supposed to be learning on top of. You know what I mean? So it's like
amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, you know, what we teach if what we're adding on to was incorrect anyway. We need to fix the foundation, because sometimes fixing the foundation can make you squirt anyway. And then you like, girl, fuck all the rest of that class. I'm about to go masturbate. But I'm like, no, come back, because you're going to get tired of that.
I truly think that Sophie and I need to take the squirting master class and then reconvene with you.
I think that would be great. We just set up actually an affiliate program. So if you guys want to take it and you want to let your followers know about it, we can set you guys up with a discount code. And then you'll actually make money back from anybody that buys the class. Like they'll get $10 off. You guys will get $10 in your pocket for everybody that signs up. And, you know, it adds up really quick because the class is like,
amazing
class. Girl, hold on. Let me sign up.
I think it would be super fun for us to give it
a
and see what we can learn.
Because there's only so much, you know, you can show without me whipping out a pussy. I'm sorry. Like, it's just like, okay, look. Like, I'm so specific, you know, because I don't always have the words. So I'm like, okay, here, okay, you see this little dot right here? This is like, I get really specific in these classes and in layman's terms, like you're talking to your girls, you know?
You have been so
I'm signing up. I'm signing up.
Yeah, we're going to sign up. We're going to do this again. But before we jet, just let our listeners know where they can find you on the social medias, and they got to get you as part of their routine. So get out of this sex rut.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Samia. I'm the owner of Sexual Essentials. You can find me on Instagram at Sexual Essentials, all one word. All the other ones are fake pages. In the link in my bio there or on my website, thesexualessentials.com, I have my master classes. So we have 3 master classes, the master class and the masturbation, squirting, dick riding 101, and the mouth master class. And then we have Patreon, which has over like 200 and something videos, classes, workshop challenges, exercises, new things to learn, communication techniques. It's just like, it's like Netflix for sex. And I add videos every single month. It has some amazing interviews from different people. Guest teachers are on there. Everything that pours into your sexy, whether you're a guy or a girl or whatever, and it teaches you about body parts. So if you want to learn how to eat pussy, there are classes on there. Do I care if you're a man or a woman? Hell no. Like, you take the class based off what you want to learn to happen. There's a foreplay and vaginal orgasm class on there. It's very extensive. There's a yoni massage and lingam massage class on there, twerk classes on there, like learning how to do these things, like even oh my gosh, for International Women's Day, I went to this dance class and had her teach us a dance. And then we taught it to the patrons. And it was like, it was a chair dance, but it was just like something sexy to do different. And it's a private place to learn on these things on your own. And then we still like get online once a month live, and you know, we chop it up and talk about our dating lives, and it's great. It's really good for me. I created what I needed, which was a community to just talk about this shit, because I don't want to have bad sex, man.
No one does. Amen to that.
Good. After you have good sex, it's really hard to go back.
Thank you. This
so.
has truly been like, you took me to church and it's exactly what I needed. So thank you so much.
Thank
It
you so
was a
much for
pleasure.
having me, ladies.
Thank you.